Hello, everyone, and welcome to PALS Chat. I am your host, Gina Parker. I'm with guest co-host Ashley Jones.
Hey yo,
I think we're getting to the point where you might just be a co-host, Ashley Jones, but
I have
yeah,
all the qualifications. I'm available.
there you go. Yeah. So, what are you watching this week? I think it might be the same thing I'm watching, but we'll see.
Oh, I inhaled the last few episodes of Young Sheldon.
Oh, then it's not.
No, I was very well, I finished Only Murders and then I jumped over because what I do when I finish a show is I check all my other shows and I
Mm,
checked and there was some new Young Sheldon. I was like, cool. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, that must be the season finale.
mhm.
No, it went to a two-parter series finale and it was very emotional. I'm not going to ruin it, but it was great. And the characters from the Big Bang Theory show up and do a very long cameo in the last episode of the season. So it's like very full circle. And it sort of basically the whole thing is Sheldon's writing his memoirs as an
Mm,
adult who's married to Amy, who
mhm.
has kids. So it's very full circle and it's his point of leaving his childhood home and going to Caltech and starting the life we know it as Big Bang Theory. So it was very cool. It's very neat. And I'm very excited for a spinoff because it's a really good show. Young Sheldon was great.
Yeah, getting its own spinoff too.
The spinoff of the spinoff. So yes, I look forward to more of that because I believe it's the Georgie Mandy spinoff, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that actress has been in quite a few shows that I've loved. So
Oh,
um,
that's good.
she's great. Are you watching the new Bridgerton?
That's what I thought you were gonna watch.
Well, that's on tab next, but I wanted to finish up Young Sheldon first. But yeah, I kind of started the first episode a little bit. How are you liking it so far?
Well, I'm finished because it's basically broken into two parts. So it's four episodes, and then in June will be the rest.
So,
Oh,
knowing how quickly I get to things, I'll probably start it when the new ones come out. That's just how it's how I roll. I'm always like a month behind everything new.
yeah, I consumed it all in a night, and then now must continue on with my life, waiting for the next part. So things happen right away. I'll say that
Mm,
because there's only four episodes, so they have to
sure. They
have a
gotta go
stopping
quick.
point.
Yeah. I gotta say I was delightfully surprised at how prim and proper that show is, but also like very graphic sex scenes. Like they're they're very prim and proper, and then they just rip their clothes off.
Hmm. That's the vibe. That's the vibe
It's
of that
totally
show.
the vibe. Like everybody's
It
at a tea party and then just graphic sex scene.
And I wonder how you'll take it because now there's just so many characters from all the previous seasons
Mhm.
and there was the offshoot with the queen and then her characters are in it as well. So I wonder how you'll take it watching it in little chunks trying to remember who everyone
I gotta tell you, I'm struggling already. Like
is.
even that first half of an episode, I was like, wait, who's that? Wait. And then of course, all the characters are older, right?
Mhm.
Because I don't know. I mean, in the story, there's only been a season jump. They're back to the spring, summer season. But in reality, it's been a couple years because of strikes and stuff, I think. Or has it been a year since they filmed the last actual Bridgerton season?
I don't know if it's because of the strikes or because they did the queen season in between. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
But
Because they had some of the regular people in the Queen one.
right. So what threw me was like people are talking and being familiar with each other. And I was like, I don't recognize that person. And then I realized, oh, it's just a character I remember from before who looks different because they're older. The love interest for Penelope, is that her name?
Oh yeah, Penelope, and then there's Colin, and then
Right,
some dude.
right. So one of the Bridgerton brothers that she's like secretly in love with, I didn't recognize him because he'd like grown up so much. And then all of a sudden he's like everybody interested in Bachelor who's seen the world or whatever. That was kind of a cool comeback for him because he was sort of like the nerdy kid
Hmm.
in the previous season. And then now he's like the charming bachelor, which I thought was a big growth for that character. But it
And
took
I'm
me a good 15 minutes to know who that was.
But I mean, think about like travel in that time. Like, very few people could really travel. Like,
Right,
even those rich people, very few of them were leaving because they had lives there.
right.
So the fact that he just went on a ship is like, who
Yeah,
did
crazy.
that? It's like
Who
being an
does that?
astronaut, you know? Like,
I mean, I feel like the same is true for travel like nowadays. Like people who travel a lot, you're like, that must be great.
but I mean, most people have been to, I'd say, like a Disneyland, a Disney World, or a Branson, like a theme park,
Hmm.
at least in the United States, and I'm
Right.
assuming Canada. Do your people have entertainment?
We do. So when I was growing up, the big place was Canada's Wonderland. And I knew it as Canada's Wonderland before it was bought by Paramount. It's now Paramount Canada's Wonderland. It's like Six Flags or whatever. It's not like Universal or Disney that it's based on movies. It's just a theme park. There's roller coasters and stuff, but it's not based on like, other types of entertainment the way that Disney is. We have other stuff though. There's not a lot of theme parks in Canada, not a ton of them.
Well,
And if they are there, they're pretty small.
well, there's places to go, and yeah, even in like Europe and stuff, like going in between the countries. I think
Mhm.
before Brexit, I haven't been back since Brexit. It used to be like very easy to just like hop. You just
Sure.
hop between places. Hawaii, you hop between islands, a lot of
Hmm.
places like that. And I feel like in Bridgerton, in those times, you could maybe hop down the street,
Right. You
but you
could take
weren't
a
get,
horse to your friend's house, maybe in the outskirts of town, but that was about it.
yeah. And so Colin was on a boat.
Whoa.
And so he's a rock star.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted him.
He was like, How did you? I remember hearing that one line was like, wait, you went to France and Spain and Belgium in one trip? Like they were like, wow,
He's living the life.
the life, man. And then comes back and is the most eligible bachelor. I thought that was like a great, like nobody paid any attention to him early in the previous seasons. I mean, obviously he wasn't like out. It wasn't his season.
Hmm.
Although, like in this sort of storyline, do the guys come out in the same way that the girls do into society? Like,
No, I think it's like you decide to get married and then it happens.
right, it's yeah, the guys are just like there, whereas the girls have to like be presented and they have to have their feather and they have to be part of the season and blah 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 blah. And if you don't get married on your first season, you're somehow like some sort of spinstress, which I thought was just kind of ugly. But I know that's like part of our history.
Mm. Yeah.
But it's still like the costumes and like the the cinematography and the costumes of that show is just absolutely breathtaking. Like the sets and the back and the flowers and the fields, it's just gorgeous. It just makes me want to go to England so bad because I've never been there.
Yeah. It also, I get a kick out of the like the pop songs turned into instrumental fancy
Yeah.
music.
I was like, is that Lady Gaga? Yep, that's Lady Gaga in, with a violin orchestra. Cool.
Mhm.
And I've always wondered what it would be just on strings. But yeah,
Yeah, Yeah, I think you'd like England. You should go.
I
Spend all your
I
money
really
right now.
should go. Yeah, it'd be great.
All right. Now it is time for Love in the Afternoon, and it should be a short one this time. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's not a 14-year relationship this time.
No. It's more of a 4 year, I want to say,
Oh,
but
it's
nothing
short and
happens.
sweet. Short and sweet.
What I like about it is it's kind of quintessential soap story. Like, there's so much buildup, so much longing. You're happy for a second and then it's gone.
Cool.
So
Bring them
in the
together just to destroy them.
yeah. So we have Jeff Martin. He's married to Erica Kane. She bewitched him, ensorcelled him, whatever. So they're married, but she's miserable being married to a doctor because she wants like excitement and romance and he's working. So
Oh, it's the worst when your partner is working.
and so she didn't really get it. There's this nurse, Mary Kennicott, and she's just really nice and supportive through all of his wife's bullshit. So his wife, Erica, is like getting secret abortions. She's, doing all this lying, scheming, secretly modeling, doing all this stuff behind his back. And he's just like, well, that's my wife. She sucks, but,
She
she's,
sucks.
but she's my wife. And then he's got like this wonderful person here who's always there for him and is totally upfront with him. But they can't be together because he's married. Erica finally starts cheating on Jeff with her modeling manager, and she's convinced he's going to marry her. He is not, but whatever. So she's like, fine, Jeff, it's over, whatever. But then Jeff's like, great, I'm going to start dating Mary. Cool. And
Cool.
then he gets called to see the guy that Erica's cheating on him with, whose name is Jason Maxwell. And
Hmm.
so he's like, all right, let me go meet with this guy. The guy's dead. And so then
Oh my goodness.
he's on trial for Jason's murder. He was kind of gonna throw him under the bus and has to blackmail his dad, Joe Martin, to give him exonerating testimony. And I don't think she thinks he really did it either. I think she was just being kind of a bitch. So,
Just the easy way out. Like, I know he's innocent, but I want to make sure that he gets off the hook.
mhm.
It doesn't matter how I do it.
And she wants to get a payout. That's her thing. She's like, let me get
Mm,
cash for helping out my ex-husband. But
mm,
finally, it turns out to be Erica's mom was the accidental murderer, you
mm.
know,
But
and
she
it
doesn't
was,
remember because she blacked out.
yeah, you know it.
Perfect.
And she's
Excellent.
a nice lady. And so she just confesses, like, oh, I did it when she remembers. And it was self-defense, so everyone gets let go.
Think about all the things we have to be thankful for and things we have to be happy about.
Like meeting each other and falling in love.
And being able to be together. Whether we're married or not, we are together.
And they find this abused boy named Tad Martin who was like and like, till his bones were broken and abandoned in a state park by his father. And they're like, we're gonna adopt this kid. Make plans. They get married. Mary gets pregnant. Life is good. They're adopting Tad. And
Hmm.
then some home invaders come along and they get violent. Mary manages to save Tad, but she's shot and is killed.
Oh my. That is very
So
short.
yeah, and so they finally got together. They finally got happily ever after, starting a new life, new family. They're like the good, long-suffering characters,
Uh-huh.
who finally get what they want, and then one of them dies. That's how their story ends. Jeff has a few other loves throughout the years, but he never really worked as a character after Mary was gone. That was his big one.
So they were a power couple in the sense that like everyone was rooting for them because they were so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
that's unfortunate.
one of those where all the forces are against them, but they're the good
Mhm.
people. Like if you can't generate conflict within, it all comes from the outside.
Right.
Murder trials and trifling ex-wives and all that fun stuff. Oh, yeah, that's Jeff and Mary.
I like the whole Jeff and Mary story. That's cool.
So we'll talk about Erica's. So
Yeah, that's cool.
There's Erica and Dimitri and Erica and Jackson.
Mm,
And so we'll talk about
nice.
both. Very few people are in multiples. So I think she
Ah,
and maybe one other character are in multiple super couples. But
ah.
since she's been around for 41 years, there were decades where
I
one
mean,
thing worked.
there's bound to be, in that long. Because it's the idea that the characters are going with the actual timeline, like every week is an actual week, and every month is and every year, or decade, or whatever. Like, I'm sure they do recast, but like having that character, they are getting older. Therefore, you'd expect some sort of like character growth and change, or
And
just
she was
getting better at
yeah,
scheming.
and she was never recast.
Oh, wow. That's
So it
impressive.
was Susan Lucci the whole time.
Cool.
And people really saw her grow up on this series.
How old was she when she started?
24.
Oh, nice. Wow. It's a long time.
That's our Love in the Afternoon segment. We'll be back next week with something, either another Love in the Afternoon segment or Sadie Teal will be back to talk about the 80s. We'll see. And that's it for us. All right. Well,
Bye.
thank you for listening. Our theme song is Wouldn't It Be Nice by Sound Mirage featuring Lady Rand. Please rate and review, download, subscribe, all the things. And you can email us at amcrewatch@gmail.com. Thanks. Talk to you next week.